How's it going, everybody? This is going to be your more Swords Satellite gameplay from 33 to 39 and 38 on one of the accounts. We're doing both accounts in this video to show different perspectives, different team options. The smaller account was much more interesting. That's going to be in the later half of the video. I don't have time to do timestamps, unfortunately, but I'll just make sure I have one timestamp for when it becomes the baby video stuff. This has been a rough go of it for me. I don't know if it's the influences, I don't know if it's the fatigue, I don't know if it's doing this at 1 o'clock in the morning and then editing it right before we go out for the day. Not sure what's going on, but it's not been great for me, but hopefully you get a lot of inspiration from this. You can make some adjustments based on the pitfalls you see I fall into, or maybe some of the successes you see I have. You can try and lean into those. But yeah, hope you enjoy the video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye!
How's it going, everybody? We got the tower floors. Unfortunately, I had to do this not live recording because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning when I did it, and uploading everything, hotel rooms, blah, 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 that sucks. I accidentally simmed floor 33. That gave me a heart attack, but it ended up working, which was nice. The next stage I'm going to hit with my Infinity Watch team. This is the Death Seed team. As you're going to see a little bit later in the smaller accounts footage, just went absolutely horrible for me when I didn't have a maxed out team. So if you are the type of player that has leveled up your Infinity Watch into the high 2 millions for Crucible efficiency sapping, this is a great choice for you. If not, this is just a waste of your Infinity Watch, but also you could RNG your way through it. I think I did see a window where it was possible with around a 17 or 1.7 million team. And you're not going to use your Infinity Watch for literally anything else, so you might as well YOLO it, see what happens. What you want to do here is you want to start by getting past the strafe. You're going to do that just with the assist from Nebula, with her being a skirmisher. Then you want to go for the Psylocke, ability block her, so she can't throw everything back at you, after which you need to kill the Dark Beast. Gamora comes in, she's going to get a reset here. She can now get extra attacks in. I'm going to try and kill the Archangel, which I absolutely do. So if you do have a super big Gamora, this is exactly what could happen for you. And once Archangel is dead, you've nullified the big threat, right? The Termian rewards on the passive kills. And from there, that's why this matchup can work. But this is like a level 100 Infinity Watch team. I have another option that was really smooth that you'll see later on in the video, so make sure you check out the timestamps if you want to see what the smaller account did. Go. So, sorry I missed the preamble here. We end up going in with a very close to mirror match. We got the Apocalypse Kang with the 3 Death Seed members. Now, this absolutely walks over this node, so if you want to do this, by all means go for it. what I ended up finding is this costs way too many resources, especially the Apocalypse. Again, you'll see in the smaller account, I choose a much different team, and it goes really well for me. So I would strongly suggest saving your Apocalypse for later. I actually got further on the smaller account because I switched things up, which I thought was very interesting. And then the only reason I didn't get to finish the tower yesterday is because then the smaller account couldn't beat floor 39 because of a power level issue. But it is what it is, right? That's how it goes. So as you see, we run the Apocalypse off of the rogue. We need to slow that down. Then I didn't want to push the Apocalypse, so I used Tang Special a little bit further away. Then Apocalypse goes, we make sure we kill the enemy Apocalypse with our punch. And from there, Archangel is rewinding people, and you just kind of get the win. Again, this is a very easy matchup. This is what we did when we had all level max 95 characters. So if you worked your Apocalypse up at all, this would be very easy for you. All right, this is a Gamma team. Now we're going to hit it with some Eternals cheese. This Eternals cheese is going to be really good if you are able to use your Infinity Watch team on the Death Seed floor 2 below. The reason this works is because, well, the game gifts you with a nice minion from the Mr. Negative. You get to double tap. Cersei does yet another rewind. Doom goes for the ride. And from there, you get to use the power of Icarus. Now, hopefully you've been leveling your Icarus. He is such a unit still. He's going to be very useful, him and Cersei, for a long time. So I wouldn't sleep on them just yet. So there's your double tap. You might think that you're in trouble, but you're really not at that point. Emma gets yeeted. After that, we're going to have another rewind coming from Cersei. If Star-Lord got yeeted, then there would be a little bit of a concern, I guess. He's the only person that would die besides Emma. So 20% chance that it could go sideways, but then your Doom could just regularly get pushed. If your Star-Lord does get yeeted, then I would suggest slow playing it. Don't touch the Red Hulk until you're able to get your Doom pushed. But as you see there, I actually do the Doom special 1 turn early because I didn't want She-Hulk to throw stuff back at me. We do 1 more hit here. Icarus is going to come for the ride. Now remember, Icarus special hits additional times per block, and every charge that Red Hulk has is another chance that he blocks. You see, he blocks there. Icarus hits 3 times on the special to both Brawn, Hulk, and the Red Hulk, and everybody dies. All right, floor 37. We're going to hit this with our Superior 6. So we have a giant Superior 6. This was actually so easy. But again, you'll see I make better use out of my Superior 6 on the baby account. And they actually take out the Apocalypse floor with some minor adjustments to deal with characters like Emma and the Apocalypse and stuff like that. So make sure you check out that other footage. I think it's actually more interesting. And what I wish I had planned a little bit better. I keep trusting in the power of Skrull. And Skrull keeps letting me down, unfortunately. Alright, so in we go. Now, our Goblin should be the first character to go, because there is no Spider-Verse character. A little bit of a rewind we got to do it there. If that hit Goblin, that would have been bad. So you know what? Definitely don't do this matchup unless you're desperate. And if you do, hide Goblin in the corner. Yeah, I didn't realize that she was going to go first there. So this was lucky that this worked. But the second Goblin does get to go. He absolutely shreds the opponents. I'm not going to say this is lucky because we still probably would have recovered, but it's not lucky. Actually, let me think. 30% rewind from Hard Light. 30. No, he doesn't get any seed reps at Crucible. Yeah, this is very lucky. So the damage is just crazy from this built-up Superior 6 team. This shows absolutely nothing, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time. I think the Amsterdam vacation is frying my brain. Yeah, check out the baby account. What we did there, it was much more relatable and no luck to it, and definitely what I would suggest people do. Go ahead and get the taunt up. Doc Ock will flip everything from here, and then we'll clean it up. Alright, now unfortunately, this is where things go bad for me. I relied on the power of Skrull for stage 38. We got this Apocalypse team with a bunch of great characters. I mean, I didn't rely fully on the power. I did give Skrull some great teammates. I gave him Quicksilver. I gave him Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler to nullify the Emma, plus the stun, which obviously can't land because Apocalypse is passive. And we gave him some great villains too in the form of Dormammu and Morgan. The only person who gets to keep their revive is the Nightcrawler because he dodged the Black Cat passive. We go for the YOLO stun on Quicksilver, gets resisted, not surprised there whatsoever. But we got our two heroes, our two villains, so we know we got some good controlling effects we can put in place. So I believe we're going to go ahead and put the ability block on the Red Hulk. We sure do. So there's a nice little rewind over there. Morgan goes next, and then everything goes to shit, basically. So I debate with myself, who do I want to try and get rid of? Do I want to take away the Kestrel offense up to try and save somebody? Do I want to try and kill the Red Hulk with the basic attack plus the ice attack on for Morgan? We go for that. It does something, not enough though. We did get stunned on our Nightcrawler, which is going to play a huge factor in this, not in a good way. I try and push this Quicksilver here. We're going to start with the basic, try and get that Scarlet Witch out, which we do, and then we strip all of his charges so that he's only going to do one attack on the follow-up, but not quite enough to get him killed. And then we don't have Striker on Skrull, so we're actually not able to finish him off either, which means he's going to hit us with a nasty rewind on somebody. I go for it anyway, so maybe if I get a crit. I did not get a crit, so he's going to survive. And then the pain. So there's a rewind on Morgan, followed by the Kestrel hit on Morgan, so she's now gone. That Terminator rewind would have been really, really nice. Dormammu is just absolutely obliterated. He doesn't even live the hit. Luckily for me, that goes onto the Quicksilver. And then from here, I'm like, oh, Skrull's got offense up. He's going to save the day. And he doesn't even get a kill on, like, the Red Hulk. He does, I don't know, 35% damage to the Red Hulk. This was just all around horrible. Apocalypse is clearly a better character when you need to take out like an MVP villain, which is going to be the enemy Apocalypse here. So this just didn't work out for me, unfortunately. And this is why on the baby account I saved Apocalypse for this, and it wasn't pretty because it's a smaller account, but we did get through it, and that's definitely what I suggest people do. So go ahead and check out those baby account fights, which are going to come next, and we can go from there. I also did a second attack with the Secret Defenders team, a YOLO attack. It went about as well as you would expect. So we got Secret Defenders with Omega Red. I'm not going to bore you, waste your time with this. We got a little rewind, and then Morgan goes, and then we lose everything. Yeah. The Morgan being as far away as she is from the Red Hulk is a problem and a half. What I will probably do on the baby account today for this one is I'm going to try and cheap out on it. We'll see how it goes. I would love to still be able to clear floor 40 at least one time on the big boy account. tonight. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Anyway, let's get into the baby footage.
All right, guys, so here we are on the baby account now. We're going to go over this pretty quickly, but I think this is the much more relatable option for people. So this is stage 33, the one that I accidentally sinned before. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to save my Kestrel. I was trying to be a little bit sneakier, be a little bit more selective with who I brought in because of what happened on the J2D account. So we come in here with Shang-Chi and Spider-Woman along with our Tank Web Nova combo. And this doesn't go too bad. We get to stun the Quicksilver, obviously, right, with the Spider-Weaver, otherwise we lose. The next stun is got to go onto the Phoenix, otherwise she would take a run out of stealth. Shang-Chi hits the Scarlet Witch, who had a bunch of buffs, and people do start dying, which is nice. But we quickly lose our charges, because obviously there's more than 5 enemies on the field. There is 8 enemies on the field, and you will quickly lose your charges. Looks like Phoenix took all our charges. I don't even know what that interaction was, but that was a wonky one. Regardless, though, we do get to do enough damage with the defense down on the enemy that we get to go. I'm sorry, I don't know why it's doing some sort of weird load thing. And then from there, we start taking out the MVP issues, right? So we got to get rid of that Gambit. We get rid of the Quicksilver. We do have to deal with that Rogue. She does have Taunt up now, which is very annoying. Here we go. Gambit bleeds out, which is great. We have to do a nice flip on the Rogue. More damage from Spider-Woman. I'm telling you, Spider-Woman is a sleeper OP character. Lots of damage comes in, and then from there, we're able to finish off strong. So that was pretty good. And then we move on to stage 34. And I told you this one went south for me. I'll show you it going south. But yeah, so this was 1.7 million Infinity Watch into the Death Seed team, and just didn't have enough damage in the tank. Like last time when we did this hit, the Strafe died. Ooh, not this time. We still get a nice dodge from the Archangel, and then we get to put an ability block on the Psylocke, after which we turn our attention to the Dark Beast. But it's just not enough, and then we do get trained out on some certain characters, which leads to turn meter rewinds, which leads to a nasty snowball effect. And once that happens, you are certain to die. You see there's a bleed out there, plus a kill on Adam Warlock, so that's lots of energy going out, that's lots of nasty stuff that we just can't recover with. So that ends up being a loss, so I end up going in with the team that I had set aside to actually win it. And that's going to be an Eternals team. Now, this Eternals team is definitely foolproof. It just taxes you for your Gamma option later on. And that Gamma team hurts. There is still another Doom Cheese option, which is what I do. But it's not nearly as automatic, I guess. It is in a sense that you're not worried about your Star-Lord dying from a Hulk taunt. But it just feels a little bit worse. So anyway, I'm making this team on the fly. We go in there with Cable, Eternals. I believe I've taken Omega Red because I don't think I'll use him later, and Taskmaster. Just a bunch of people that are fast enough, but slower than Icarus. And this is exactly what happens. So the taunt from Strafe comes out, then Icarus flips everything, does a whack load of damage because you should be leveling your Icarus, and he should be a Raider at this point. Cersei comes in, that's going to get the taunt off of the Strafe. But even if it didn't, it's fine. You would just do the damage over there. You could target Archangel for this to make sure he gets the blind, but things go well enough for me. And then Omega Red's going to finish it off. So as you can see, very, very safe. I guess the biggest issue is being stuck behind a Strafe taunt. And then your Mega Red goes before your Taskmaster. I suppose that could suck. But then the Strafe should die. And then you should be able to put a blind on the Archangel and go from there. All right. Then the much more interesting matchup, and I'm going to debilitate. I don't even know the word I'm looking for. There we go. So we go in here with our Superior 6. Now, obviously, we got to throw in the Nightcrawler because of the Emma. But we also got to throw in the Mysterio, and I throw the Mysterio in over Kraven so that I get to keep my offense up. Now, that's going to mean the Doc Ock is basically the biggest source of damage here. I go for the right out there for the YOLO ability block. You don't have to. It's nice to get some crit damage on him as well. To get a vulnerable rather. So Goblin can do this, where he does a nice rewind, and he can put a defense down on that Red Hulk. But now we've already given Red Hulk 2 charges. That's something to keep an eye out for, but it's not really the end of the world. We continue to tunnel down the Red Hulk, and the second our Mysterio gets to go, we're going to put an ability block blind on the enemy, especially on the Apocalypse, right? You got to ability block that Apocalypse. 2-turn ability block is great. This is definitely what I should have done on the Big Boy account. It would have been even faster on that account because the team is much larger. But from here, we're going to start picking people off. Because he's got 2 turns of ability block, we should start going for him. Because here's the thing. That Emma has trauma, but not ability block. So, like, she will use her special. It won't cleanse anybody except for the Apocalypse. We don't want that. So we start pushing him, and then I go and I finish off the Emma just to make sure she can't do it at all. So now we're going to continue to train down this Apocalypse. That Red Hulk is at 4 charges. We're a little concerned about pushing him. Even though he would have been blinded there, that would not be a great thing to let happen because then the battlefield effect is in play, right? All right, so Archangel's going to miss this as well. And now we got to get this Apocalypse kill in time, and we absolutely do. I don't know if losing Nightcrawler here was worth it for me. I'm going to have to I forget how Photon's ability works. I think Photon is only for Secret Defender members. But we need to address the Emma there, so maybe if you bring your own Emma, no, that still wouldn't be enough because you need to go first. Now, I think Nightcrawler is needed for this matchup to work, unfortunately, but it's gonna cost me down the line. All right, so then we get to the Gamma team. Now I'm gonna go in with the traditional Quicksilver Doom team. Now this is a very big Quicksilver. Don't get it twisted. 7 red stars, about 500,000 power. I don't know. We're the later floors of Tower. A lot of you guys were taking issue with the size of my teams. This is a free-to-play account. If you've been focusing your resources where good content creators tell you to focus them, you would have some of these similar teams. Not all of them, I know, because this was not always a free-to-play account, but I digress. So you got to start by putting a Disrupt on the Green Hulk, and then we're going to go ahead and take the 2 charges off of She-Hulk, also giving her defense down. Doom's going to go for the ride. Make sure you get at least 1 vulnerable up on the Red Hulk. Try and get a flip here. I tried to get the flip on Mr. Negative to give him defense down instead of defense up. Wasn't good enough, and then we'll get the vulnerable out there. I believe I put the vulnerable on Brawn, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe we're throwing it at Taskmaster. So we're throwing it at Taskmaster. That's okay. It's kind of a waste because Taskmaster's so squishy. But after that, it's time to go. I'm going to start by taking out the She-Hulk so she doesn't throw anything back at me. That worked really well for us. And then we're going to throw 1 more basic to get him low. Then the ultimate. Just make sure that you're ulting when you do have the offense up. Yeah, you don't want to ult without it. And also remember, Quicksilver ultimate can put his own vulnerable out there for himself to hit into. So it's not a bad idea to try and YOLO one of those. And from here, I understand that I'm starting to get lower on my turns possible. So what I want to do is I want to take out the Brawn. I think killing the Brawn is one of the most important things you can do because the healing he does, the stuff that he steals, the percentage damage that he does, it's all a big issue. Mind you, these other 3 characters, they're not free or easy either. Especially the Green Hulk, so we do get stuck behind the Green Hulk, which means we got to kind of beat him up as much as we can. Quicksilver does a great job, but doesn't quite finish him off here. And then we're eating a lot of damage. It's actually not looking great for us, but we got to keep going anyway. We throw the ultimate because it does do a call to assist. You see our Quicksilver gets super low. If he had died there, that would have been it for us. Luckily doesn't. Scarlet Witch comes in, puts the defense down on everybody. From here, Quicksilver can go nuts, and that's exactly what we get him to do. And we win. So a little bit of luck here on our side, a little bit of not luck with the amount of damage Quicksilver was doing, but we get it done. We got it done. That's the only thing that matters. I believe these characters are level 98 maximum, so just for your reference. All right, and this is where I switch it up. So in the Big Boy account, I ended up using Superior 6 here, full Superior 6, 3 million Superior 6, but I ended up also wasting my Secret Defenders. I ended up throwing them at the wall, just hoping something would stick. So we're not going to go for that. We're going to play a little bit safer here. And I go with Superior 6, and I take Firestar with me. Let's just rewind so we're at the very start of the fight here. So the way it starts is your Miss Marvel gets to go. You want to rewind that right side. So we get the Morgan rewound, we get the Robbie rewound, and we get the Rogue rewound. The Problem here is Gambit starts doing some hellacious pings to us. We still can't control him though. So first person we got to control is the Morgan. Otherwise she gets turn meter and gives turn meter. Now we want to put an ability block on the enemy Rogue. I would much rather Long Taunt than Rogue Taunt, because Rogue Taunt also gives her 75% speed bar. And now this is super important. Get a blind on Gambit before your Firestar dies. So target that Robbie Reyes, get the blind out there. It's actually going to kill the Robbie Reyes, which is really nice. And that's just, Photon is an absolute unit. She is a destruction machine. And here's why I brought Firestar. So she's going to do very, very nasty damage and lots of bleeds, right, to give Robbie Reyes even more turn bar. And he comes in and he just cleans house. The amount of bleeds he does, the amount of debuffs and everything he's doing cannot be undersold. Morgan's now dead. She's going to bleed out. I believe Black Cat is forced to attack Scarlet Witch, unfortunately, but I think she might kill her right away. Oh no, Agatha pops out. Oh, we didn't go for Agatha though. That's probably a mistake. Probably should have went for the Agatha. Yeah, we ended up just pushing the Scarlet Witch into the Agatha passive, so that was silly. But everyone's bleeding out, so it doesn't quite matter anyway. And we get the dub here, which was nice. It was nice to get this dub. So we haven't used Apocalypse yet. We haven't used Skrull yet. You would think like, hey, that's going to be pretty good for us. Pretty good for us. And I mean, it is. So we go in with a similar team that we use on 35, but instead of taking Archangel, I take Morgan, because Morgan does have an ability block for the enemy Morgan, Terminator rewind stuff, lots of buff strips, lots of good stuff, right? Like good stuff. And the enemy Apocalypse, even if he does stop our Morgan from landing her debuffs on her ultimate here, he cannot stop the turn meter rewind, which is exactly what's going to happen. So we throw the ultimate, it does a turn meter rewind, which is very, very helpful. Then Kang is going to come in. Make sure you do not give Quicksilver slow. If you give Quicksilver slow, that'll be super bad for you. And unlike 35, I know this Apocalypse is a beefy boy, so I know he can take a couple hits. So I do hit him once with the Kang. This gets stopped. The reason it gets stopped is because of our Apocalypse, so no stun comes through. Then I got some controlling effects I need to do, so I could stop the Quicksilver from doing things, but I can't stop his turn meter, right? So we opt not to do that there. I believe I do control the Red Hulk instead. Excellent. We don't want him to ult. Those debuffs are real nasty. And then from here we can go. So I guess technically I could have done it to the Quicksilver and then targeted him with the ISO attack from Apocalypse to get the stun there. In the end, I still think what I did here was best, even though I didn't kill the Apocalypse. Oh my god. So I do wish I was able to throw a little bit more damage the Apocalypse's way. My Red Hulk not going before my Apocalypse was weird. But you can see the way the turn meter worked out, even with the Apocalypse retaliating turn 1. My Red Hulk does get to jump the queue, so I do get to go first, give him a nice little rewind, and it's still not enough to kill him. So Rogue is going to die here. Obviously, this is looking very perilous now, but we'll get our Red Hulk ultimate off, which is going to do a battlefield effect, which is absolutely huge. My Kang comes in with an offense down and does very little damage. We go from there. So let's talk about what I could have done to make this a little bit better for myself. And I strongly think I should have targeted the Apocalypse as a Rogue special. Even if it does nothing, get the extra damage in on him, get the ISO attack in on him, and go from there. But we get to get through it anyway, so we do the Apocalypse special. That's going to take out a bunch of characters, get the Apocalypse low. Then my Kang's going to go, and he's going to start demolishing people, and this is why Kang was so important here. I play around with the idea of not going for the Apocalypse. Hey, maybe he'll bleed out. Never do that. Not in tower. Your bleeds will never be strong enough in tower. The inflated stats these guys have is crazy, right? All right, we get one last rewind on that Apocalypse. Also taking off the dodges from Quicksilver, which was nice. Very nice. And then we'll get that last dodge off Quicksilver. Apocalypse. I'm not sure if Apocalypse gets the kill here. He might. Not quite. So we still have to take one more hit from the Quicksilver, who then dies to the battlefield effect. So yeah, I would definitely make sure you kill that Apocalypse. I wouldn't let him do his thing there. That was not very nice. All right, moving on. This team I thought was going to be much better suited to take on floor 39. So we got the Fury Kestrel, so our two heroes, also giving us speed bar advantage. And then we have Vulture, who does get a lot of speed bar here too, because lots of heroes. And Archangel for some nasty Terminator guys with our Skrull, right? Our big Skrull. He's going to be so powerful. He's going to be so good. My options were a little limited here, kind of. I should have just come in here with Hive Mind and called it a day. Hive Mind Skrull, I do believe, would have got over this, but this is the smaller account, so, you know, nothing is for certain here. So what we need to do is we need to answer these Eternals. I go for the Cersei here. I need to get a permakill on the Cersei, so I'm trying to set her up for the Kestrel. Because if Icarus gets to do his rewind, like, it's over before you know it. So we get to target over here. We're gonna do a nice little rewind on the 2 Eternals, give ourselves some time. We get speed up on the rest of our characters. Skrull's gonna get to go, so he's gonna get us off of this taunt from the Miss Marvel. Lots of damage in on that Cersei. She's looking really good. She didn't hit her health trigger. She's right on the edge of her health trigger. This looks great. I don't want to push her at this point. I could have tried to kill her, but I'm not sure she would have died. And if I just do too much damage to her, it'll pop her health trigger, and that's exactly what happens. Maybe a bit of a mistake there, but I thought for sure this level 98 2-diamond Kestrel would get the kill on Cersei. So we're going to go ahead and ult here on the Cersei. Maybe I should have just done like the basic with Quicksilver over on the Nova or something, but I think that's the way to push. So we don't get the crit. Cersei is just shy of dying, which means the Icarus flip is on the table, and with our Kestrel super low, that's all she wrote. So the power, another Skrull team failing for me. Not too happy about that, not pleased whatsoever. He's got the offense up. Can he do it? He does a little bit more damage here than he did on the floor 38 on the last account, but not enough. So we end up canceling out, and that's going to be it for our tower journey today. I've been very disappointed with how I performed in this tower so far. I don't know if it's because of vacation, I didn't get to plan ahead of time. I don't know if it's just influences. I don't know if it's because I'm doing it all at 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, but it's not been great. But I hope these floor ideas, these teams that I use, have been able to at least give you guys some inspiration for teams that you could use on your own, or just to kind of see how the fights play out, the pitfalls that can happen. Hopefully that's been of use to you. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you guys next one. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Bye for now.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.